44. What year?
It's an 84.
Nice.
This one, I put a 5-cylinder in it a couple years ago.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I got a swap kit off some guys in Ohio. And,
5-cylinder from what car? What
it's
kind?
a 2009 Jetta.
No shit.
Yeah, they put 2.5 liter 5-cylinders in those cars from 06 to 012.
Wow.
And this one's an 09 because the
That thing's
10
gonna
to,
fly, huh?
oh yeah, I put a turbo on it and it's pretty quick.
I used to drive a 44S turbo. Beat on the. My dad was actually a Porsche dealer when I was a kid.
No shit.
So I grew up in the 80s. So
Really?
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
We got to drive. I was driving the Audi, like back when they had like the Quattros.
Yeah.
Remember those rally car Quattros?
Yeah, this is actually
the
my
two-door-
inspiration for building this. Is
The
those
2-door Quattro coupes.
those Quattro
yeah, we had
turbo
a rally
5-cylinders.
car that we
Oh,
fucking,
they just sound insane.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun beating on those cars.
It sounds pretty much the same. It's
That's cool,
So-
man. I was noticing this car when I was walking by.
Yeah.
I guess obviously it's a 944. The 24 didn't have the flared fenders. And all
well,
that.
the 924S had the bent out fender flare.
Did
that's,
it?
that's kind of what these are based off, and yeah,
Gotcha.
the 944s they based it off the 924S and the 924 turbos.
It's a fun car.
Oh,
Fun
they're so
car to
much
drive.
fun. They handle like a dream too, and they're dialed right in.
Can't really drift them though.
I beg to differ.
Have you?
Yeah,
I mean, like at a
I've gotten it sideways a few times under control. Yeah.
no shit.
Yeah.
Anytime I would spin them out, but I never really could.
Yeah.
You got to be going pretty hard to get this thing to drift.
These things, they're known for their 50-50 weight distribution.
Wow.
These engines, the one that came out of it, it was all
So
iron
what kind of
block. And,
speeds you able to drift at? You got to be going pretty hard on this thing to get it to.
well,
I mean,
granted, it was uphill and around a corner, so I was
Okay.
kind of able to feather it
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit, but
but like an S turn or something, you got to be doing 70, 80 miles an
yeah,
hour.
you got to be hammering down on it. Yeah, it's
I could do with a front wheel drive car, like not drifting, but I could get those tires spinning,
Right.
get the inside rear wheel off the ground.
Yeah.
You know, like those you can push pretty hard.
yeah. This one, let me tell you what. I mean, I haven't driven many fast cars, and this is, you know.
If you get this thing
but-
spun out, you're going awfully fast if it's
Yeah.
just like a regular corner.
Oh yeah, and it's all really like the tires too, and
Yeah.
everything else surrounding it.
No
is-
shit.
is this a golden doodle?
No, he's a Portuguese water dog.
Oh my goodness. You're a cutie, aren't you? Hi. I've got a golden doodle back home.
Oh, really?
At my dad's
Nice.
house. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a
you're so
fun
sweet.
car. I love what you're doing with it. though.
Yeah,
Holy
it's.
shit.
I've had
It's
it
a
for
lot of engine in
about
there.
4 years. Yeah. It's
Wow.
actually this engine's I think lighter and a little smaller, like lengthwise,
kidding.
than the original one. Yeah.
It's
This is a
amazing.
dual overhead cam, variable valve timing on the intake. The original was a single overhead cam, and it was 4 cylinders, obviously. But
Sick.
oh
You
yeah,
put this in yourself?
Yep.
Wow.
yeah, it's been over the course of a couple of years, and I put it in after I got out of college. It was naturally aspirated, and I put the turbo in it over the wintertime.
What'd you think of the 928s?
The 928s, they're interesting.
Yeah.
I like the looks, and I like the vibes of them, the
It
whole
was
retro
a fun
styling.
car. I mean,
Yeah.
it was first. I think it might have been the very first auto transmission on a Porsche.
Yep,
So
it was either those or this one. I can't remember. It was.
pretty
I know
sure it was
Porsche
a 920.
had.
My dad was a dealer,
Yep.
and he usually would drive 911s. But then when the 928s came out,
Yeah.
that kind of became his car of choice.
The 928s are pretty lean.
That was a cool car.
Yeah.
I've seen a few like. There was one out in a field out in Maine just rusting away.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I
it's
hate
sad
that.
to see,
I
yeah.
hate that. These cars, they're special. They're
Yeah.
something I think they ought to be saved.
First car I ever rolled was a 83 GTI. Volkswagen GTI.
Yeah, I put this one on its roof last couple winters ago.
GTI is a hard car to roll.
Yeah, and they're pretty flat.
Yeah, they usually spin out first, but we did it.
Yeah.
But that's cool,
funny.
man. It's a great car. I've been admiring when I
Hey,
walk
thank
by,
you.
but
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's my
cool. Be
baby.
safe with it.
Oh yeah.
Don't accept the challenge of drifting in it.
No. This is my long-term kind of road trip car.
That's awesome, man.
Hey, thank you.
Enjoy. See you.
Well, it's pretty cool. Don't really have many people come up and talk to me about my car that often, let alone, you know, someone who's family of a Porsche dealership. That's pretty sweet. Shout out. Gross. the valve cover prepped. Let's get this thing siliconed. Your battery's almost dead. Nice. Check out that view, boys. Alright, so plot twist. I have my vacuum lines hooked up wrong from the catch can. Apparently it's not supposed to be getting full vacuum from the manifold. And yeah, so we're going to be rerouting that today. Valve cover is resealed, breather box resealed. What else have I done? Let's see. Well, got that filter on there. All my lines are hooked up. So that silver line right there, we're going to reroute that to the intake. The idea is the positive crankcase ventilation system, in my case, is a catch can. Brings air and oily air from the valve cover and the oil block to a Y to the catch can. And that was going to the manifold, but since we don't want that, we're going to bring it to the intake. So we're going to do that today. Luckily, I was able to find this guy. This little adapter fitting here. Goes 1/8 inch NPT to -6. So we'll probably remake that line so we can get rid of that check valve, make it nice and clean, and yeah. We'll get that installed and then probably do another test drive, see about getting the lights going. I've been sort of fighting the lights for a little bit. It's been quite a battle. I'm also fighting a cold. It's not COVID, don't worry. I just took a test. We're Gucci. But yep. Keep chugging along. Alright, so some of you are interested in seeing this, some of you aren't, but that's okay. Basically what's going to happen is right there, I'm going to plug that hole, kind of like how that is. I'm going to keep everything else the same, because I don't really need anything else to go anywhere. And this guy is going to get replaced. It's going to go basically right down there. Where that current fitting is, right there, that push lock. I'm going to replace that with an AN and basically have this just go right to atmosphere. But I need some tape, so take Bertha, go to the store, get some Teflon tape, and unless I can find some kicking around. I don't think I have any. I'm pretty sure I don't. Kind of a sad situation, but it's alright. I'll go get some tape and we'll be back at it. Alright, check it out. Got the tape. Fitting number 1, fitting number 2, adapter, that hose, got some plugs, and let's see what we can't make happen. jeez. Freaking car alarm's still going off. I don't know what's up with that. Now, a little trick for these. If you're having a hard time getting the first part on, you want to make sure your hose is like nice and clean, you know, and then these actually go on left-handed, so you know, demonstrate. If you just kind of screw it on lefty-tighty, it has internal threading so that it kind of grips onto the loose threads of the nylon coating, and when you keep turning it left, it like sucks itself back into the back of the fitting. And if you can really see, it's kind of starting to get going there. So you just kind of keep turning it left, give it a little elbow grease there, and you know, keep lefty tightening it on, and eventually it sucks itself right onto the hose. So kind of keep turning it until you see, I don't know how well you can see that, but there. And you can put taper on this, but I don't. You don't need to. So, and once you get to about here, usually just stick it right in the vise. You just want to be easy on it. The PTFE fittings, you can kind of gauge a little better how tight they are. These ones, the variation in brand, size, kind of just got to be careful, because sometimes the size doesn't really match up. And if you tighten it too quickly right off the bat, it'll snap the fitting, because they're just aluminum. It's not steel or anything. But you just want to be easy on it. Go slow. Having a vise like this really helps, because it's small enough, it's portable, but it's still heavy enough that you keep your fitting in place. So, generally, you get to about this point, you want to start being real careful. You can see the gap between the hose portion and the actual fitting side. You want that gap to close up, and then once it's closed, you'll see you want the flat sides to match up, and then you'll feel when it gets tight. Because the ends have butted up against each other right about here. And because you're going slow, the fitting isn't super hot yet. And you can really feel the tightness, so like right about there is where I'm gonna think about stopping, because I'm hitting some resistance. Give it a little bit more. Then, yeah. This should spin freely. You're good to go. Very little marring, but if you get a little bit, it's okay. I should see no gap. That's nice and tight. That's not going to leak. This should spin. This shouldn't. Now, sometimes you get fittings that the tape just kind of ends up screwing you over, and you get this nastiness here. And that's no big deal. These fittings are designed to go over this relatively easily. These ones, you can tell, can really see the left-handed threads on the inside, and that's going to help us a lot when we install this. So basically, just gotta have some finesse and some patience with it, and then you know, you're only going to be able to get so many of the strands. Just kind of go around it with your thumb, press them in while turning left, and then once you've had about enough, you can start cranking on it left, and you'll see all those strands are starting to get sucked into the fitting. And that's the design of these left-handed threads. That's what it's supposed to do, is kind of consolidate everything. And now, you can really tell the hose is, the end is right up against the back side of that fitting. And that's what you want. You want as little amount of gap and space between the inside of that fitting and the end of the hose. A few more turns for good measure, and then stick that sucker in there. Now, some of these have a little bit of a taper at the end on this side. Kind of looking at that and gauging how the fitting's going to go together, how much tighter I can make it. I really just don't want to break it. That's my only concern right now. I think I'm going to leave that right where it is. Alright, so we've successfully rerouted our catch can vent hose to the compressor inlet. Alright, let's start it. See how it sounds. Probably going to sound about the same, but